You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
welcome to the show. My name's Dave, and this is a Fistful of Podcasts from FFOPradio.com. Back for another great week. Let me introduce you, as usual, to my co-hosts, all the way from the Reno Sparks area. And up first, we have one Mr. Andrew Bergevin.
Oh, yeehaw, David. I don't know that you've met me before. I'm the Andy that lives in Texas. We do everything bigger down here. You want a big old virus? Come on down to Texas.
Big old virus. Sure, great, whatever. Moving on. In studio, of course, we got Chris over there on the couch.
I am on the couch.
So, I've got a lot of notes here. I've got, looks like some either movie or show pitches, some complaints about Amazon reviews. I've got something that baffles me to this very moment, but we'll have to try and figure it out as we go.
Ooh, a baffler.
So I think I know why I wrote it down, but here's the thing. I try to write as little as possible, thinking, oh, this idea is so fully fleshed in my mind in the moment.
Yeah.
Why bother elaborating?
No, it's like when I find a bunch of notes in my note section of my phone, and it's just like a string of numbers with no title. Hey, cool.
Yeah, because then you're like, is this important? So here's the thing. The one that's baffling me, because when I first read it, I was like, what? But then I was like, I get it. I know who wrote this. It's me. Because my note reads, the cruelty of grocery store novelty vending.
The cruelty of grocery store novelty.
And I thought, what the fuck am I talking about there? But because I was like, my mind jumped to all the shit at the counter for some reason, like all the candy and shit. But I was like, no, vending machines.
In the grocery store.
In the grocery store. The ones that'll, whatever. It's a quarter, anywhere between a quarter and like $1.50 for some of that shit.
Well, yeah.
Oh, like the little candy.
Beyond that, like the toys, like the sticky hands.
Well, yeah, the little red things, not the big soda vending machines.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You ever put your money in there and you're like, I'm going to get myself a nice sticky hand, and a homie comes out instead and you're like, this is a lie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is like you look at those cruel bastards, and they have, everything within one of those eggs is encapsulated, usually on a card. So everything in there is like shrunk wrap or whatever. So you have your sticky hands, your fake bugs, all the zany shit in the world, and you land on one. And I always landed on one. It was the tiny handcuffs.
Yes, everybody wants who doesn't want to put tiny handcuffs around their pinkies?
Right. That was the best. And here's what I always got. I shouldn't say always. It was like 7 out of 10 times. 7 out of 10 times, drop in my quarter, which, not only back in those days was a lot, but to a child was a lot. So that's double a lot.
Yeah, you could buy 5 candy bars back in 1922.
1922, yeah, 5 cents a piece. They are also as big as your head. Walnuts as big as your eyes. Anyway, I put the quarter in, and I would do a little prayer to anybody listening and say, God damn it, I want these handcuffs. Clink. Pop it open. It was inevitably a sweet tart lipstick.
Nice.
All the time.
No, I never got that. So see, my mother viewed those as and here's the cruel irony of this is since I live in Nevada, as you're exiting the grocery store, there's slot machines.
Yeah.
So while my mom is pumping her leftover quarters into a slot machine to go away forever, she'd be like, don't put your money in that thing. It's a waste of money.
But you get something out of it. But
right. And here's what I'm going to say about that. You can point to literally anybody doing anything and say that's a waste of money because you don't find value in it. To me as a child, I constantly was waiting to hit that jackpot. Like, everybody loves, or back in the day, they loved to put stickers all over their folders. And I'd go in there wanting like the Hot Wheels one, or like, they had a bunch of cool ones, the Cobra, or like the Yin Yang with the tiger, all that.
Yep.
And I have all 3 that I ever bought still stuck to a box, a wooden box I have that I keep things in to remind myself never to do it again.
See, but you put it in there and it's like fucking yeah, you got like the cool snake. There's a cool bulldog. You put in your money, come out. It's the Raiders logo. Why?
Yes, and there are so many like holographic or prism my world revolved around holographic Marvel trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the second tier of that was the prismatic Marvel trading cards. So the Wolverine cards, they had prism cards. That was their selling point. Marvel, they had holograms. So, but that's part of this problem. You could put in 50 cents and say, Marvel card. Pull the hat. There's holographic cards in here, kids. You always got Sunfire.
Yeah.
You always got the Slug. You always got the Black Rose or the Purple Rose.
Or, God. So, and another thing, David, sometimes you want a sticker, and it looks like stickers are guaranteed in this machine.
Right.
You're like, all these stickers look cool. They wouldn't lie to me. Put in your money. This is a temporary tattoo.
Yes, I was about to say that. The temporary tattoos are so fucking frustrating because even if you get a crappy sticker, it's still a sticker.
Yeah.
You can stick it to something and be like,
Did it.
Yeah, I'll pull my box out of my bedroom and I'll show it to you. The sticker that I hate most of all is a bulldog sticker, but it's green and it's like a gray alien mixed with a bulldog.
Fun.
And it's the stupidest looking fucking thing on the planet. And that's why I will never spend 75 cents on anything in a vending machine ever again.
Yeah, that's why I get all of my stickers from Redbubble, where everything is completely legal.
Totally, yeah.
The Rick Moranis sticker staring at me from my water bottle right now, I'm sure he gave his permission for that.
Oh, yeah. He's getting a cut of that. Like, Redbubble's like, here's your check, Mr. Moranis. And he's like, well, since I stopped acting, this pays the bills.
My uncle used to collect homies from the little machines, and it was so funny because he would always get the same one that comes out. He's like, I already have 3 of these.
When I was a kid, and I'm sure when you guys were kids too, at the Chuck E. Cheese's, the Pistol Pizzas, the Showbiz Pizzas, whatever pizza place that was also an arcade that you were involved in, they always had those little ninjas, right?
Yes.
So
the
ninjas,
little plastic ninjas.
Yeah, little plastic, little rubber, silicone, whatever ninjas. Each one of them was a different color and had a different weapon. And sometimes it would be the same weapon with different colors. So it was, something collectible. Mm-hmm. And I lusted over them. And I would, whatever. Turn 16, get a job at an indoor, like, mild amusement park for children. And boom, I had the whole set that day. I had the whole set. Yeah, I had the whole set of all sorts of childhood. Like, I got one of those finger bikes because, like, after the finger boards died down, they were like, oh, finger bikes. So, yeah, I got to live out a lot of childhood fantasies in my very first job.
Did they ever do finger rollerblades?
I imagine they did.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I mean, if they did the bike, they sure somebody did the rollerblade, but it went so poorly, I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Finger rollerblades. Yep. Oh man, that's a thing. No, see, I was thinking about fingerboards the other day and how my mom would always get me something after it had gone 2 years out of style.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, hey, can I get this? She's like, that's like $5.
Yeah.
3 years later, she's like, I remembered you wanted this, and it was 25 cents in the bargain bin. Like, oh, thank you. If I bring this to school, the other children will mock me.
Yeah, and now you're the only one. Yeah, they hit when I was in junior high. I was like 7th or 8th grade. Now, keep in mind, this is before your boutique shops. This is before your Etsy's. This is just a bunch of jackass kids who have access to a shop class. I did not have shop in my 7th grade year because I was like, man, maybe like next time I'll try home ec to get a girl. So one of the kids who took shop, they did the plastic portion of the thing, and so everybody's making fingerboards. And this kid, the reason I brought up your Etsy's and all your Baroque sort of boutique stores is because, like, if you were to, like, such was the quality of this board that if you were to find someone on Etsy, they'd probably charge you $20 for it.
Ooh,
because
bespoke boards.
Well, yeah, whatever he did, it was a sandwich layer, 2 plastic pieces with like this tie-dye effect of like purples and blues. That was like this beautiful thing, and he'd polished it to within an inch of its life. I coveted this thing.
I killed the man.
I murdered him, and I took no. So I whatever. I was like, dude, I don't have shop. Please, like, can you make me one of those or will you sell me that one? And he goes, I'll give you this one for $5. And in that moment, I could not get my money out fast enough. Like, he thought he was ripping me off hardcore, and I thought I was getting the deal of a lifetime.
And
So he snatches my $5. I snatch the fingerboard. He like laughs his ass off because he's like, now I can go make another one. I'm like, yeah, obviously.
that's the way
can't.
stuff works, man.
I'm
Yeah.
supporting small business.
Yeah, I'm whatever. Like, fine. Like, don't. I'm $5 was nothing. Like for a craftsman stuff of this quality, I kept that thing for years, and like everything else I love, I lost it. But still, think back that one of the best business decisions I ever made in my life was that fingerboard. Because God knows where that guy is now. Maybe he's a craftsman of plastics.
He's Tony Hawk.
Maybe he's Tony Hawk of fingerboards, or possibly he just got addicted to huffing glue. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, shop class. Everybody in shop class eventually huffs glue.
They never give us access to anything stronger than like Elmer's wood glue.
See, I never took shop.
Me either.
Shop was a weird experience because I was in that weird time frame where they stopped calling it shop. It was industrial arts. And so it was still old projects from like, oh, here's some busy work, build a toolbox. And there's no real learning capacity to it because you will follow like steps on a sheet of paper because it's busy work. And then there were the ones where they were trying to integrate the industrial arts, and we were learning about magnetic trains and building CO2 racers. So it was a weird time to be alive.
See, I took ROTC and they let a 15-year-old handle guns, so that's
Like with
fun.
real bullets, though?
Yeah,
Wow.
there was a firing range and everything.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That I feel like guns controlled by a school and bullets controlled by a school is weird, but I can see them being like, well, we're in control of everything. Like if a teacher hands out 3 bullets and 3 guns and doesn't, hear whatever 9 shots and doesn't get enough bullets back, then there's a problem and we can stop that shooting before it happens.
David, as somebody who teaches children currently, I wouldn't trust any of them with a gun.
Right, but you're teaching younger kids, right?
Well,
I've
they're
done high
not-
schoolers. Wait,
Oh,
I've taught high schoolers.
And they're not in ROTC program, are they? Like when you were teaching them, maybe it's different.
Yeah, it could be different. I just remember being a jackass both with and without a gun.
That's part of that's everything though. Schools are like prisons in that everybody in there is looking to make as much mischief with as whatever resources at hand,
It's
and shop
completely
class
true.
is rife for that because you have access to like wood and tools and glue and plastics and shit. Like I saw so many shivs and clubs and stuff passed off as like, whatever. This is something I can give to my mom because they like one of the dumb projects for woodworking when that 3 months happened was it's so lame. It's like a stick with a hook and a fork at the end. So you can grab an oven rack and pull it out with the hook and it check on your food. And then when you're done, push it back with the fork. It was a very simple design that a lot of people put, horns on or cudgel type things. And,
Of course,
They're
my
just
mom
like-
needs to beat the roast back into submission.
yeah, I mean, some skirted the line, obviously, and the shop teacher would come over and be like, "No, you can't make a fucking shillelagh." So, like, knock that shit off. But like,
This is a baseball bat with nails pounded in it.
yeah, it was like, and my shop teacher was like so laissez-faire. He's like, "Hey, when we're working the plastics thing, doing the engraving, you're going to engrave your own desktop name tag or whatever. No drug references, no murder references, no blah, 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 blah." And this one kid, instead of putting 420, since it worked, I can't blame him. I think I've told the story before, but it bears repeating. Instead of putting 420, smoke him if you got him, he put, it's 419, do you got him in it? And he showed it to the teacher, and he's like, clever. It's okay. And he fucking let him make it. So it was the Wild West, man.
This one says Weedy McWeed face.
That one's a no. If it was clever, he would have been like, sure, great. That one gets an A.
Holden
Oh, my God.
Caulfield.
Yeah. So one of the other things I was been doing recently is like virtual stress shopping, but just so my Amazon wish list is like an impacted ass load of new shit over the past like week. And I'm reading reviews for things as my proclivities are shifting through these, like getting rings or different things for videos and different shows upcoming. And I'm reading these reviews for one-time use items. Like, let's say a ring. Like, one of my things that I love are steel rings. Something you would typically buy one of.
Yes.
Unless you want to, like, fill your fingers with the same ring. Would be weird. And I can't tell you how many reviews for, and like necklaces too. They say, love the quality, will buy again. Why? Why are you saying that? What? No.
I have 2 or 3 girlfriends.
So many of them were like, oh man, I love this ring. It looks super big and scary. Will buy again. And I'm like, so I don't get me wrong. I lose a lot of shit. So are they planning? Like, are they just being like, hey, I'm going to lose this baby?
Just plan ahead.
Yeah.
Keep it on your wish list just in case.
or are they like me where they actually do want copies of the same ring to do different specific things to it? Or are they just on autopilot? Maybe.
Maybe.
I think that people get a rush out of leaving reviews. Just like,
hey, sometimes they give you a gift card for reviewing something.
I was promised a $3 gift card for a review some days ago, and it hasn't materialized. I'm going to have to call my councilman.
Yeah, just like call my city councilman. Hey, I reviewed some steel rings, said, loved them, will buy again.
Was promised $3 in store credit, never got it. Please advise.
See, my most hated of Amazon reviews are when I'm scrolling down because I've been looking at camping gear because we want to go camping.
Sure.
Here's the deal. If I see a 1-star review, I was like, oh, something shitty happened. Almost every 1-star review I see, it's like, this arrived and the box was all beat up.
Yeah, they do.
What are you
going to
do for me, Coleman?
Or like UPS lost my first package, but the seller replaced it, so it's okay, 1 star.
Yeah, here's the thing. You have to take user reviews with a grain of salt because they are no smarter than you in most cases, and in some cases dumber. So you have to say, well, did they use the product right? Are they capturing their encounter correctly? Are they just an asshole trying to get free shit?
Yeah.
So my thing is, like, if it's over a certain amount of stars or whatever, I was like, whatever. Like, if I personally like something and don't want to write a review, I'll give it a 5-star because what am I going to say about a steel ring? Like,
Fits
cold,
good.
metallic.
And don't get me wrong, I've read reviews for steel rings because I got curious. And most of the positive reviews say fits perfectly. Most of the negative reviews say doesn't fit.
Okay.
Nice. So you ordered the wrong size. I mean, that's your own fault.
Maybe just keep that to yourself and just give it a star and maybe chalk up the size thing to human error or whatever.
God damn it, Carol.
Yeah, God, Brenda. But it's insane to me that all these reviews, and so I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, maybe this is me and it's only my opinion, but I feel like Amazon is a great place for trolls to go and post like subversive political and or like racist shit.
Yes.
But walking away with no repercussions because you can't react to somebody's review other than a thumbs up. Like, was this helpful or no?
It's like Facebook. You can only say like, hey, this is great. This one.
Yeah. If Facebook took away the ability to comment and all you could do is thumbs up or thumbs down. And so a lot of these reviews I get so angry at because obviously the person is using the product wrong or they're just clearly demented or they're whatever. And you want to be like response, but then it's just, the rest of the internet.
Can I read to you one of the customer reviews for one of your rings?
Sure.
It's the Egyptian one that you have.
Oh, the eye?
Ooh, the Egyptian eye.
Yeah. So.
Or the head of
it's
the
Anubis. Head.
Okay.
It's a 5-star review, and the title is Dangerous and Beautiful.
Ooh.
The next time I get into a fight, this ring will take someone's eye out. This ring is not only powerful but delicate. The ring has an open back, but because of the way it lays on your hand, you don't get the suction cup effect like with other opened back rings.
Yeah, because here's the thing. With some open back rings, they will be nice enough to put a barrier, a perforated barrier. I can talk about rings for a while if you want to talk about rings.
No, sure, yeah.
She's a
just lay it
size
on me.
11?
Like, here's the thing.
She got big ol'
If you like
fingers.
big rings, 10 times out of 10, unless you're me, you're a fatty. Because every picture of every chunky ring that I've ever bought is on a fat sausage finger.
Well, yeah, she says the size 11 was a traditional 11 and not an internet 11 being too big or small.
An internet 11?
It's in quotes.
Let me tell you about ring purchasing. If you're buying a ring and the hole for your finger is like a drilled cylinder, like it's an absence of matter and it is simply a circle, that is your true ring size. If you are like me and buy big gaudy shit that says it's a giant skull, so behind the skull is a huge cavernous space, you can add an extra ring size. So
Of course.
my pointer finger on my right hand is technically a 9, but I can get away with buying 8s with bulky rings because there's a lot of room. There's a lot of headroom in these babies.
Yeah, the kabuki mask ring that I just purchased. David, what are you doing?
There are also here. Let me also tell everyone within my voice: if you wear big rings, you don't want to get into a fight.
No,
Or
that'll
if you
hurt
see a fight coming, pull every ring you can off before you have to fight.
Do it submissively,
Because-
so he thinks that you're gonna give them to him.
Yeah,
Sorry, sir.
or like,
Sorry, sir.
Start pulling them off and chuck them, but you don't want them on your fucking fingers because you think that these babies will be transferring your force into their face. And it will, but it will give an equal amount of force in an equal amount of very small pressure points on your delicate finger bones.
You will break your
I
fingers.
don't
Yeah.
need fingers.
You will destroy your hand, and within one punch, you'll be over, and they'll be ready to keep kicking your ass because you were able to deliver one punch.
Well, I feel
That's-
like you can't make a proper fist with like all those rings on. Like if you have every ring on that you have, like your full hand is full of rings, I feel like you can't close your fist as
It depends.
That's why I always wear my swap market paperweight.
Yeah, so I've been diving into all these weird like self-defense gear reviews, and I just watched a review where like on the brass knuckles as a thing.
A review of the brass knuckles.
And they were like, is this a reasonable self-defense weapon?
Is it?
And so he started out being like, I don't think so. But then like he carried it around for 2 weeks in his pocket and he's like, I like it. But here's the thing. Anything heavy in your pocket is going to make you feel secure. You can put a rock in your pocket. It'll make you feel secure.
They're pocket rocks. They're made for your pockets.
Pocket rocks. Because that's in there and you can throw it. You can hit someone's head with it. So it'll make you feel secure. So I don't think it's a good weapon. Well, it's just beyond that. Like, it's illegal almost everywhere. So let's say
Yes.
you do use it for self-defense and the cops show up and you're like, don't worry, boys. Took care of it with the old brass handies.
in self-defense.
Your ass is going to be in jail because those are illegal.
So why are they okay? So those butterfly knives aren't illegal. I thought
Switchblades.
they were.
Switchblades in most places and nunchucks.
In England, they
Why?
call them death sticks, which is pretty badass.
Well, here you can't even like in Arizona when I was big into martial arts, we, everybody who taught us weapons are like, know the law. So they're like, don't take your nunchucks literally anywhere because if you beat someone up with them, you're going to jail because they are illegal outside of training purposes.
Is this like the dipshit kid who got arrested at my high school because he had like full katanas and nunchucks
100%.
and ninja stars in his trunk? He had a
Yeah.
little pouch on his belt
Unbelievable.
that had ninja stars in it, but it also wasn't rated to hold like sharp objects, so it would poke through and like stab his fat belly.
Yeah, there are a ton of secret ninjas out there that aren't very secret.
God.
But yeah, it's crazy. So all these, but that's I don't even know why all of these channels are entertaining these like insane weapons and stuff that is obviously illegal. Like I watching one where it's like, can I use the nunchucks for self-defense? I'm like, number one, where are you keeping those things? You're keeping two 12-inch sticks held in between 3 inches of chain or rope.
Yeah, in my spandex pants like Bruce Lee did right at the small of my back.
But then someone's going to be like, what the fuck's up with that?
Tell them that you're Bruce Lee's cousin.
Yeah, like maybe if you had like a Ninja Turtle belt like Michelangelo and they stuck into their own little pouches like on the front and they those cute little X pattern, maybe you could get away with it being like, oh, I'm a cosplayer. But the second you whip those things out, even in self-defense, the police show up and they see a dude beat the shit with nunchucks. Like, they're going to be like, dude, what the fuck?
So
like,
it was for training purposes. I was training them to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
David, when you said cosplayer, I thought you were going to say cop.
No.
Don't worry.
I'm a cop.
Nunchuck cop. No, yeah, but like that's the thing. And like, you can't bullshit your way out of every scenario. Cause like, let's say you are walking into a dojo and you have your nunchucks. Easy excuse. Cause then you can be like, I was going to train. But,
Yeah.
You take the law into your own hands and you become the street justice the city needs but doesn't necessarily deserve. Mm-hmm. That cop flashes his light on you and you don't want to hit him and he's hitting you with his flashlight.
with his nunchucks.
He sees those nunchucks on you. He's going to be like, nope, that's a crime on top of the vigilante stuff.
Yeah. That's why you use your grappling hook at that point. Leave the nunchucks behind.
What I'm saying is like, know the law. Don't carry around weird objects.
So, David, you've been watching these like weird weapon reviews since, like I said, we wanted to start going camping, and I don't want like expensive gear, but I don't want to be cold.
Yeah, you want good.
Almost every single review you watch, there's two camps. The guy who's a gung-ho camper is like, this is my backpack camping gear. It only weighs about, 300 pounds. It'll be fine. The other camp, this is a perfect tent for when you have to slaughter all of the people who are coming to take your food.
You know what's weird? Well, I'll get into that later. But yeah, I imagine camping there isn't very... Like, there's not a lot of middle ground, I imagine, right? Like, if you're a camper... You're a camper.
Yeah, you're an extreme camper.
No, I just want to go for a weekend, arrive Saturday morning, leave Sunday morning, be like, that was fun.
Well, you better learn how to fish, too, because usually campers also fish.
Well, yeah, you would probably have to, like, find... But is there a middle-of-the-road camping gear reviewer, like a mom and dad with two kids who are like, we're going out with the Coleman this and the plippity plop, and we'll go, oh, we're cooking our dogs over the thing, we give it this review.
Well, and the goddamn reviews are like, oh, this is my Coleman tent. It's perfect, except for the one time that typhoon came through. 2 stars. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Why were you camping in a goddamn monsoon?
Yeah, check the weather before you go camping.
And also, don't overthink anything. Like, here's what you're going to learn. Be yourself, obviously. If you're going to be that person who's going to take everything to an 11, don't bullshit yourself. Just do it. Like, don't go for the reviews. Just buy. Like, here's what I recognize about myself. If I'm going to get into something, I know as soon as I get into it, if it hooks me, I'm going to take it to an 11.
It's true.
So if I get a taste so if I get a taste of it beforehand, I'm like, okay. I really want to skip that first step and take it right to 11 and save myself the money.
I guess, but I don't find myself being one of the people with a, like, you walk by campsites or like there's people giving reviews like this one has enough room for a wood stove and you can put the little thing out the top and so you won't suffocate. You'll be great.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you some sort of desert king?
Well, then you also have to keep in mind, you as a human being can literally make anything work. Like if you get the shittiest tent, like the odds are you're not going to get hit by a tsunami that weekend. Worst case scenario, you'd be a little cold. Next time you'd be like, let's get a better tent. So that's what I'm saying. Like in your case and mine, I see the guys and maybe you've seen this too. And I want to get your opinion. You get the guys who are, this is for elites. Like here are all the features. It's fucking top of the line. It's the Lamborghini of this product. And then you get the dudes who are like, use literally anything you have at hand. What's the best tool you have? It's the one closest and you can reach and use.
Yep.
And then I've seen the guys who start out as the former or the latter and end up as the former.
Yeah, they get sponsored and they're like, hey.
Yeah. It's like one guy, I love him. I still watch his stuff, and I, probably will buy the stuff that he hawks one day. But he started out being like, here's a tool for this task. It was $9. Here's a link in the description. And that was like 2 years ago. Cut to the video he released yesterday where he's like, links in the description for all the stuff I'm wearing and using. I get a cut. They're way better than anything else you can buy literally anywhere else.
These are commissioned links.
Yeah.
Which and I don't want to bust balls over because I get it.
I do get it, but like I have that problem with a lot of cooking channels. Is I'll start following one. I'm like, oh, these are good recipes. I can make this at home. And then 2 years down the road, it's like, and now take out your shaved unicorn horn. This is hard to get, but you can always substitute just black pepper if you're a peon.
Yeah, and that's part of it too, is the people you're watching have access to better shit than you have.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's a mind fuck to see someone with these, $200, $300 set of Eskrima sticks, and they're telling you, hey, get a piece of wood and cut it to 26 inches and use that. And he's like, do. And like these dazzling, brightly colored, bedazzled things are flying in front of your face. And he's like, get a piece of wood, cut it, get a broomstick. I get, but it's a mixed message.
Yeah, I don't need you telling me like, oh, look, if you can't find this, you could just use, I don't know, dog turds. But I'm gonna use this. Like, okay.
I get it and I appreciate it because there are people who just want to jump in with the cheapest thing and see if it works. But
yeah.
But after a certain point, once you get like a sponsor and you have like your name on a product that you're selling, the latter becomes a little disingenuous.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, but still, I would push it because why not?
Yeah, I mean, if I had a channel that reviewed something and I started off like, you guys don't even need silverware. What you do is you take a stick from outside, you poke the meat, and you just kind of eat it that way.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm like, okay, they sent me this $5,000 electronic grill.
Yeah. And
it's the best one I've ever used, sure.
But that's the line you walk with reviews, though, is like, whenever I'm watching YouTube and I see the includes promotional content, I'm like, how is this going to be worked in? And is it going to be weird and sketchy? Or
and then somebody's just selling you G Fuel the whole time.
G Fuel, gamer subs, brah.
Woo! Hey man, when you're gaming, you can't stop to make food. Just to call somebody on Postmates. They'll give you a hot dog and shove it right in your mouth.
Oh my god. I
use my code for 10% off delivery, but only from select stores.
Okay, yeah. So do you get commercials for it's like I think it's GoPuff?
No, David, I'll tell you what, we've had the wildest fucking YouTube commercials here. It's one of them pisses me off to no end, and it's a 2-hour-long commercial.
What?
And it's a local thing where a bunch of white-ass bitch Karens are sitting on a stage going, I don't want to wear a mask, so I won't wear a mask.
And it's 2 hours long?
It's local footage of these dumb whores doing this. The other set of commercials, which I actually like, so we have a Shields here, which is like a huge sporting goods store.
Uh-huh.
You think as a national chain, they could have commercials made by someone professional.
You'd think.
No. The local Shields has taken out their damn camcorder and like, hi, I'm manager Joe, and over here I've got some coolers. If you like coolers, come on down. And it's oddly charming.
That's what I would say. It is always oddly charming for local commercials. Like
the attorneys. The local attorneys.
Anyone who takes it upon themselves to like brand their company or their franchise with their face. I fucking love it.
Yeah. So we used to have billboards around here for Joey Gilbert, attorney at law, and it always said domestic violence DUI.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out this guy's a total dick bro, but that's all right because he went to the Capitol riots and got arrested.
Nice.
What?
I love the attorney. There's an attorney commercial that comes on all the time, and I've mentioned it to David before, but I can't remember what the...
So I can run through all the attorneys I know of locally that I've been hearing commercials of since I was a child.
Is there a Hammond?
There's Goldberg and Osborne. There's Phillips and Associates. There's Hastings and Hastings.
Hastings and Hastings. That's what it is.
See, we have Laub and Laub.
There's Phillips and Lyon, but then Phillips died.
Uh-oh.
Now all you have is a Lion.
Died. Lion died. He was the fatter one. They were like the Siskel and Ebert of lawyers. Lions died, so it was Phillips and Lyon, then it became Phillips and Associates.
So
we'll give your case a thumbs up.
in this commercial, the dude, he's standing there in his suit, and in the background there's like pictures of a car accident, and they're like, if you're in a wreck, make sure that you basically don't bother with the police officers. Take pictures for yourself of your car, the other person's face, their license, their driver's license, and their social, like all this crazy stuff. It's like, take pictures of your injuries because you can't rely on the cops to do it for you if ever.
Well,
literally, they word for word. He's like, do it all yourself.
These guys have been like, I'm sure everybody's got a local equivalent of the accident attorney.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been single-handedly like educating people on like injury law through their commercials for decades.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
Now, like, it's so easy that everybody's carrying a camera. They can turn every idiot into their own little personal CSI and milk them like a cash cow.
Yeah.
God.
They're like, do all this stuff and send it to us before the insurance company, girls. They won't let us do it.
Yeah, like, get all the evidence you can so we can screw over that person who accidentally hit you.
Oops.
You'll
get a cut of it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. There's so many, and it like there was one that was sort of controversial. I can't remember it was like a local insurance company or something, whatever. It's these bros playing basketball, and a guy got hurt at work, and so why is he playing basketball? I don't know. So he's like, yeah, I got hurt, I can't go to work, but I'm paying for this unemployment insurance. And the guy's like, oh, that sucks. And in the commercial, I remember it clear as day, the guy says, maybe you can stop the check or something and call my guy. There was a big hoopla. And so a bunch of local people were like, what the fuck? Don't tell people to cancel their checks. So what they did was...
Idiot.
It's insane. I can't believe they did this. The commercial was aired unchanged, save for one thing. The part where he says, maybe you can stop the check or something, all the sound drops out, and they put a censor bar that says censor over his mouth. So it's, oh man, my check, we're playing basketball, and blah, blah, I'm paying so much. And the guy goes, I'm making hand motions and face motions, but there is no sound. Maybe you can call my guy.
Oh my God. They couldn't just cut
I was
the video?
like, what the fuck? Yeah, like not even, because it was its own shot. Just cut it out.
Nope. We're just going to leave it there.
Maybe you could call my guy. What the fuck? It was insane. Crazy time to be alive in the 90s.
See, I hadn't seen any local commercials recently since the Shields ones, but we used to have a video game one. Like, there was a retro video game store in town run by this big fat guy, and he put some energy into this goddamn commercial. Where he's like, come on in, we got everything. If you can beat me at a game, everything's free. I'll smoke you. He's like jiggling around.
I'll smoke you. Hey, if you got a gimmick, man, I mean, push that.
But the game, like, you'd go into a store and be like, oh, can I do that video game challenge? He's like, yeah, we're playing WrestleMania 2000 for the Nintendo 64.
Oh, so
okay.
So when he said beat me at a video game, that video game was WrestleMania.
Right.
Specifically WrestleMania 2000.
I'll smoke you. Oh man,
I can't remember the name of the store because it's been out of business for forever.
That's nuts. If I get rich, I want to run a local store that I can be, an asshole to assholes, the zaniest commercial, like local commercial guy. Like, I would live out so many childhood fantasies with a single like storefront. I would be, starring in my own camcorder handheld commercials. Every week I'd have a new one.
Well, and the game store that my father-in-law owned was like, he made his own commercials, and he didn't know how to zoom properly, so he'd like be zooming in on games and be like, voop, voop. Like,
could you hear like the clicking of the buttons?
Yes.
That's my favorite
And the
part.
thing is, he paid for like 3 years worth of shit. And on the commercial, he says, buy 2, get 1 free. That was a limited time deal that he didn't think about. Like, and they kept running the ads so people would come and be like, I saw your commercial.
I would like to buy 2 and get 1 free. Holy
Oh,
shit.
shit, David, I found it. It's here.
What'd you find?
Oh, he's thinner than I remember. Here you go. I'm gonna send this to you right now so you can have a live reaction to this old-ass commercial.
Oh, this is a live commercial of, here we go. All right, so live.
Game Force. And you can see them playing the goddamn game. Oh, he does the same thing with the zoomer.
Oh my god, yeah, the zoom is crazy. What the hell is this?
Game Force next to Costco.
I'll smoke you!
I'll have to put that into the Discord with Noah.
Good Lord. Yeah, and I would do shit like that.
Just all day
Yeah.
every day.
Hell yeah.
Screaming constantly.
And not only that, I'd be that hilarious asshole who would be like, taping a sign in the front window. It's like, if you enter the store without wearing a mask, you will be hit with a super soaker full of cat pee. And then you better believe I will be on my guard, like with that super soaker. And if someone walks through that door 1 foot, I'm going to pull that thing out, start pumping so fast, my arm will explode. They will run. I'll be
This
that
is full of
kind
cat
physical.
piss.
Yeah.
I also poured some of my baby's dookie in here.
Everybody hates cat piss. I don't care who you are.
There's somebody, David.
Speaking of like TV and stuff, YouTube has been recommending me cartoons for my kid to watch. So I was like, oh, here's a bunch of like old timey Disney cartoons. I thought, great. I used to watch old timey Disney cartoons. I'll see if I remember any. And so here's a reference to something no one's going to know about. So I'm going to give you the backstory. In the Discord, Keith and I had a very long, drawn-out conversation about the origin of Scrooge McDuck's wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Cliff's Notes versions of it is, Keith says, from shady dealings with, antiquities, black markets, possibly murder, etc. I say the wholesomeness of Disney says it was probably like he found a diamond mine, or he sells the treasures he finds, yada, yada, whatever, back and forth. So I'm now more inclined to believe Keith's hypothesis after watching a single Pluto cartoon.
A single Pluto cartoon?
Yes. So
Okay.
Pluto is one of my favorite like standalone cartoon characters from back in the day. So I pop him on, and him and Mickey living in this cabin. It's like wintertime, snow, very cold. Pluto has got to go out and take a leak or something, and Mickey lives by a creek. And so a car drives over a bridge over this creek, and a human hand, which is bizarre, a human hand
Yeah.
emerges from the vehicle holding a roiling burlap sack tied with a belt or whatever, and tosses it into the water. The door shuts and the car leaves. Pluto witnesses this, sees that the roiling bag has something alive in it, and goes to save it.
Of course.
So
Good dog.
the beginning of this Disney cartoon starts out with someone trying to drown a kitten.
Why?
They didn't want it, and here in Disney universe, it is acceptable to when you're driving over a creek, just toss it in. So Pluto, being the guy he is, saves it, brings it home. Mickey's like, "Hey man, good on you. This cat is great." But here's the thing. Now it's annoying and Pluto hates it. So now he spends the rest of the cartoon trying to kill it.
Okay, of course.
Trying to get it electrocuted in some ways or into a fire or whatever. And Mickey, because the cat's always doing things and causing a ruckus that Pluto always gets blamed for, that is the reason that he wants to murder this cat. It all works out in the end, though, obviously. However, we are living in a world where the only thing keeping people alive is their murderer's incompetence and the kindness of strangers. And that's a Disney universe for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, David, So I saw that there was the Tom and Jerry movie coming out.
Another one.
And I said, okay, cool. Let's watch some old Tom and Jerry. And the amount of those cartoons that has that old mammy stereotype in it
Yes.
is terrifying.
Well, you know, cards on the table, Pluto also had that very same, albeit a little less racist character.
Sure.
I only say less, and how do you say that? I just think
Slightly less.
Since you've seen the Tom and Jerry ones more recently, I'm going to ask you this. In my head, it was a very plump woman who had a very visible and hard color line on her hands.
Yep, and you never saw their face.
Yeah. I feel
Just
like
a fat woman wearing a blue polka dotted dress and an apron.
But here's the thing. The coloring of the hands always made me feel like a minstrel show, and that is a very disgusting feeling. So I feel like, and I'm going to have to double check this, when the maid or whoever she is in the Disney thing appears, she's portrayed more realistically, at least visually.
Hopefully. I mean, all these old cartoons, though.
Oh, they're bonkers.
Well, and just, I don't understand how any of our parents were ever like, oh, the stuff you kids watch is so violent and awful. Like, okay.
Right. Whatever.
I'm gonna go watch Goofy get his head hacksawed off or something.
Yeah. One of my favorite cartoons as a kid was a Goofy cartoon where he's basically a Jekyll and Hyde character where he plays Mr. Wheeler when he's behind the wheel of an automobile and he becomes like a homicidal maniac. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't know where or even if I'll ever see it again. It's probably locked in the vault because it turns Goofy into a literal murderer. Because he runs over people with his car, and it's all about car safety, and he's got a stamp that when he runs someone over, he stamps the side of his door to indicate another person he has murdered.
Him.
Nice.
Fucking took him out.
It's whatever. All that stuff.
Some of them are kind of scary. Like there was one that we watched, and I'm assuming it's an old one, but like Goofy, it was weird. These Mickey ones are weird. And like he's driving around, he gets into this graveyard, and Goofy is like a disgusting skeleton zombie chasing after him because he wanted to offer him his arm as a wrench because he needed to change his tire.
That's the new one.
Oh,
yeah.
So
the new ones can be pretty weird.
Yeah, the new ones are very surreal.
Yeah.
But here's, shocker, left field. Dave loves that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love the new Mickey cartoons.
My favorite one is the one with the 7 dwarves and the wishing well.
I haven't seen any of them outside of the Mickey, Goofy, Donald trio, and sometimes Mickey, Minnie alone.
Because it is just so wild how strange this damn cartoon is. Like
I fucking love it though. Like put aside the surreality of all the weird situations they get in, the fact that whatever they're doing is essentially relatable. Like whatever they're doing, like they're reacting in a realistic situation, but they're also in timeless situations.
The one where they're in India, like it'll change to a different language. Like I didn't even realize. All of a sudden it's in French or it's in whatever. The one where they're in India is kind of cool. That one's pretty fun.
Yeah, but they're bonkers. So
they're really weird.
I'm a huge fan of the newer Disney stuff and also I think Goofy is probably like the perfect comedic character in those.
Yeah.
The one where he pretends to be the grandma in Mickey's house.
Oh God. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to find that show and put a link to that in this show's notes because that fucking joke is like Groucho Marx and the Marx Brothers worthy comedy. The fucking, like the double reveal of like him. I don't want to spoil it, but him being like, can my grandmother stay with you? Opens a can of worms that is fucking hilarious.
So the one for the wishing well it's Mickey and Minnie and they're doing like the song from Snow White.
Mm.
Pluto? Not Pluto. Bluto. Not Bluto. What's the big fat cat that Goofy hangs out with in Goof Troop?
Oh, Pete.
Pete comes, steals all the wishes from the wishing well.
Okay.
Obviously alarming. The best part about it is like they're chasing after him and just for no reason, Minnie trips. There's a huge reaction from Mickey. He walks over, she's face down and he goes, "What happened?"
Yes. Yeah, I love... Like and maybe that's like because if you're going to take away all of the, because what are Disney cartoons if you take away the violence and you take away all the weird racial issues? They're basically nothing. So you have to, supersede that with surreality over a mundane situation, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think they're
cartoons
great,
have
though.
only gotten better with time.
Well, yeah, some have. I think that these new ones, I watch them all the time with Elliot, and like he doesn't give a shit about them, but I think they are so clever. And
My kid wandered off while I was watching cartoons.
Oh, he does all the time.
Yeah,
And we're stuck watching Five Little Ducks, and he's in the other room.
Yeah, watching Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's just a crazy, like, jarring shift from because let's say there's another dynamic that was always, the end goal between these parties was always murder. Donald versus Chip and Dale.
Yes.
Like they always, maybe they didn't. Chip and Dale didn't want to murder Donald. They just wanted to steal and literally rob him blind. But Donald's way of dealing with literally everything is like at the end of an axe.
Or a gun. Sometimes he has a gun.
Or a gun.
And I tried to make this when I was a kid. Do you remember the Donald cartoon from ages past where he had a quarter with a hole drilled through it on a string and he was using that to like do all sorts of like arcade games and like novelties?
Yeah.
I wanted that so bad. The second I tried it out, apparently they'd fixed that thing in newer arcade games because it just took my quarter, and now there's a string dangling out of it, and I'm gonna get in trouble, so I better run.
He did that in one of the newer ones too.
Yeah, well, that's an old one. Like old gags like that are never gonna die.
I feel like Huey, Dewey, and Louie just want to murder him because there was one episode we watched of the new one where it was winter and they built a snowman or something and he went down with the sled and ruined it and then they were out to get him the whole episode.
I don't know if that dynamic is like payback because Donald is still he's still an angry hothead, but it seems like he is just like the shitheel of everybody. Like I've never identified more with Donald Duck in my life. Old Donald was, he was always angry and for good reason. Like the chipmunks are always stealing from him, or his nephews are always annoying him, or in some cases he was fighting wars and having to shoot large artillery. But it was always there was a dynamic there where he was giving shit and he was getting shit. He was an angry dude and people were giving him shit because he was an angry dude. In the new one, it feels like he's just angry because everyone treats him like shit.
Except for Daisy.
Why are you so angry, Donald? Let's treat him like shit. I'm angry because you would treat me like shit.
Right. But even Daisy, totally cucks him.
Oh, because she has sex with Mickey in front of him?
No. Yeah, well, sometimes maybe. But, when I feel like maybe it was a skydiving episode or something. Mickey and Donald are doing something, and Donald can't do it for shit. But Daisy is telling... What was it?
Sailing.
That's what it was. Yeah, sailing. They were on a ship, and there's Daisy telling Minnie, "Oh, he's the best sailor." Blah blah blah. And there's Donald being like, "No, I'm not a sailor. The costume she makes me wear this. I don't know what I'm doing.
This."
So he is just the subject of someone gaslighting him, and then when he's having to put her money where his mouth is, of course shit gets fucked up when he gets angry. And everyone's like, "Donald, why are you so angry?" He was forced to dress as a sailor and buy
for
a
years.
boat. Yeah. He's like everybody's shitheel. Everybody's and Mickey's like, "Oh, Donald, you're such a whatever." And Goofy is, whatever. It's
whatever.
What I'm saying is the new characters are so nuanced and dynamic. Even though they're zanier and crazier and more surreal and it's all bonkers, they've never been more relatable, ironically.
Yeah, I feel like even the animation is more
fluid,
more gooder.
I don't know why earthy comes to mind. It just seems more, I don't know, not as cartoony, but it's a cartoon, but it's
down to earth animation that we took from the farm.
Yes,
homegrown, family farmed, handcrafted. They should say.
I wake up and I start picking the cells off of the floor. Because the elves have left them from the night before.
Go into the barn and feed the colorists. Hand them their markers and send them on their way to get the day's work underway. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, but I can't believe, like, for the longest time, I thought Mickey, dead character. Like, after I aged out, I figured he was just like a Deadsville.
He's dead to me.
Like every piece of media he comes up in, and I saw, it was like bland, and Disney were playing it safe. And the fact that they're doing all the surreal stuff and even have like weird relationship dynamics is like something I would not have expected from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So they must not care about the studio producing them.
They forgot about them.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can see why it's so weird and good. Because it should be bland and homogenous as shit. So good, though. I had, I don't know if this is a movie idea or a show idea. Okay, so the project is called, or I'm calling the project as the working title, Bullets and Building Blocks. So basically, it's an 80s buddy cop comedy where, due to a paperwork error, a third grader named Kevin Hawkins hits the mean streets of Detroit with a police officer who has to take his place in the third grade.
Okay.
So we basically, your A plot and your B plot are going to switch between these two points of view. So you got Kevin Hawkins, third grader, who is carrying a gun. He's got to, they obviously had to get the, because until the paperwork is straightened out, AKA the series isn't renewed, we've got to get him his own uniform, a tiny little billy club, and the whole nine.
A gun?
Guy, of course he's got a gun. So the A story of Kevin will play out the same way every time. They go to, since it's Detroit, things are pretty bad. So they go to a place, Kevin witnesses a murder or the aftermath essentially, or like domestic violence. And it's just him constantly sitting in the passenger seat of the cop car with a horrified look on his face, like the scream behind the glass as his partner like beats people with his baton or like puts his knee into people's necks or zaps them with a taser. And then we cut to dude in the third grade who's like putting students in chokeholds and like using excessive force for kids getting into his pudding pack and shit.
Of course.
I think Bullets and Building Blocks could take this country by storm, maybe weekly or as a 90-minute feature.
See, I think a weekly series is better. It sounds like a sitcom-esque plot, but you could also have the very special episodes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So but there is a secret third hidden option that's off menu. So you've got the 90-minute feature, you've got the essentially until we get canned sitcom, or hidden third option, we have an entire arc in whatever, like the Haunting of Hill House. You basically have an entire story in 9 or 10 episodes. So bigger than a movie, yeah. Smaller than an Infinite series, and the ability to tell, like, hey, at the end, maybe Kevin stops getting horrified. Or maybe at the end, he's horrified as shit and, has to go to, therapy the rest of his life.
Child therapy, because he just killed that guy.
Yeah, and since Netflix would be like, hey, we'll do 9 episodes, maybe we'll go a little darker instead of the sitcom route because we're not having to appeal to the options are endless is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for investors, Andy, the tune of $50,000.
I have got a 50-cent piece on my desk.
The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I'll take
it. Okay, I'll mail this to you.
Thank you. I've got a couple of quarters back here in this bowl, so with that, we'll have almost enough for literally
almost
nothing.
$1.
So that's all I got. You got anything going on this week, Andy?
Nah, man. All I do is school, and then I go to teach kids, and some of the kids are little jackasses. Hey, kid. Hey, fucking kid. Did I tell you the story about how the kid walked up to the board and I was like, hey, who wants to demonstrate how they did this math problem? Kid walked up to the board, wrote ninja, and then started flossing.
Kids are still flossing?
And I was like, oh shit, that would have been really funny if I wasn't teaching you right now.
Also, if it were 5 years ago, you little shithead, sit down.
Hey, Liam? Yo, Liam, it's cool that we're reading the Dr. Seuss book out loud, and you dropped a 9/11 joke. That's fun.
Oh my god.
I would be browbeating these children within an inch of their life. Like my class would have the lowest self-esteem if you were a bully or a punk ass little bitch. Then I would browbeat you. You don't mess with me. I got no beef with you. That's how I roll.
The best kids are when I'm like, okay, hey, I'm out of nice Mr. B moments. You want to go to the office? Because I will send you there, and I don't give a shit. Punk ass.
You gotta have boundaries, man, especially with little shitheads. And whatever. I feel like my only portal into this has been like Cherish, as far as like teacher experience. And I'm sure now that you're into it, you can tell me what your tool set is. Pretty much what as far as like punishment.
As a substitute, send them to the office. Hopefully their parents give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, whoopty shit. But I'm like, as a teacher, like, let's say you get established. Like, have they taught you any of that yet?
To punish children?
Well, maybe not punish, but like.
Can't do detention.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, like if you fucked up, they would say, you lose recess, or you're staying after class, or whatever.
You're cleaning out all my
far,
erasers.
Yeah,
thus far, it's basically, hey kid, we're calling your parents, and they're gonna deal with you.
Yeah, but kids' parents are shitty. Trust me.
Well, yeah, like the kid who said his family was racist, so I sent him to the office after he said the N-word.
Ooh.
Wait, he said his family was racist?
Yeah, he proudly proclaimed it. This was during the election times. Said his family's racist. I was like, I'm sure that's not right. It's like, nah, my dad says all those N-words are taking jobs, and they don't do as good a job. And I was like, okay, we're going to send you to the office right now, and you're going to tell them exactly the language you just used. So the kid comes back, like 15 minutes later, fakes a stomach ache, and then his mom comes and gets him.
Fakes a stomach ache?
At that point, I was just like, yeah, fuck, go to the nurse's office. I don't give a shit.
Bye.
Oh, so when you sent him, he went to the nurse first, you realize, and then he hatched a plan.
Yeah, like that. I sent him to the office. He got in trouble for 10 minutes because this is the trailer park school essentially. And it was like, oh, I'm so sick. I'm like, good, yeah, your whole family's sick. Get out of here.
Sick of your shit.
Get the hell out of here.
I hope whatever. I hope the pendulum eventually swings back a little bit toward the middle, and we can all,
just get along.
We can all hug and kiss. It's mostly fun, David. Kids love to learn. Sure.
Like, by and large, humans are enjoyable to be around. It's just the minority that gives the rest of us a bad name, while the rest of them.
They're always loud.
But school, but that's part of it too. Like I said earlier, school is like a prison because the mischief makers will look for ways to make mischief in any way they can. That's why, like, they make tamper-proof everything for prisons.
Yeah.
They make it for schools too.
My favorite thing is when the kids go, like, and it always works, and I never actually have it, but the kids will go, oh, this is what we normally do. I said, really? I got your teacher's phone number right here. Can I text her and ask her? Like, oh, wait, no, we don't actually do that one.
Oh, yeah. I love, now, I never pulled that shit because I knew that adults have all the power and I'm not going to try and bullshit them under their authority. But I would always watch the kids who would. They would say, oh, well, around this time, we don't really do much reading and we don't really do much writing. We do a lot of fucking off and playing with our toys, and then we can get shit out of our backpacks. And, whatever, because it wouldn't happen if it didn't work sometimes. If there weren't holes that kids worked through,
yep,
it wouldn't work. So I can't hold it against them, but it was always funny when they were caught for them to be like, oh, actually, like the whole like, oh,
and there's always a couple kids in class like, he's lying to you,
right? It's so funny.
Or they just shake their head.
Like in every prison, there will be narcs, there will be the fucking good guys, there will be your CIs,
and the kid that's trying to pull the grift is always like, no, shut up.
Yeah, like don't you like whatever, one-on-one, maybe you can pull a con, but if you're going to stand up and be like, actually, because the asshole kid who's always will actually you back.
Yeah. That's all I got going on, David.
But then you got those teachers who are like, I don't give a fuck. I'm throwing out Jolly Ranchers all hour.
Can't give kids food.
Oh, is that a new
Yeah, well, because they
thing?
could be allergic or, you know.
Have I said to kids, I need you to get your shit done on accident a few times? Maybe.
But then they respect you. 'Cause, you know, they know you're going to drop some S-bombs. And plus, kids come back 10 minutes after saying the N-word. What are they going to do with you for saying the S-word?
Seriously.
Then you're not going to get caught because they're going to go home and be like, oh, man, we had a sub and Mr. B said the S word. And they're like, who's Mr. B? I don't know what his name was.
I don't know. I already forgot. I forget things on a minute-by-minute basis, said that kid. I was supposed to be doing math, and now I'm cleaning out my desk. And when Mr. P came over and said, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm just doing my desk like you told me to. And I'm like, you have a goddamn math worksheet on your desk.
Is it weird to, like, essentially walk into somebody else's office and, like, pretend to be them for a little while?
A little bit. Some of them don't leave very... So... Some of them leave a lot of work, and they're like, it's all right if you don't get through all of it. I'm like, good. And some of them leave, like, worksheet. They're like, I don't know. Like, kids are dumb. They won't be able to do this one math problem.
Knock it out of the
This will
park.
last you the whole day.
Huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Substitute teaching seems like it might be one of the only things that you're, like, stepping into a new thing every day. Like, when I was an electrician or whatever, it might be at a different work site, or it might be at a different room, or a different building, or different whatever. I was always doing basically the same thing because I was working under the same rules, but like school to school and like
It is.
sitting at a different desk all the time and different weird kids and
Yep, and the rules are different for every school regarding the COVID virus, so I have to brush up on that as I get there.
yeah, I can't imagine. That's so. It must be a weird.
But now I'm
experience.
vaccinated. I'm invincible.
Oh yeah, thank God. Yeah, now we can all start taking off our masks. We can all kiss each other on the lips again.
But here's the so I get it. So basically what you would do is you drive to, we call it the Livestock Event Center. It's where we have the rodeo. The Air Force is guiding people. They check your ID. They check your pay stub to make sure you actually work for the school.
Sure.
Then I drive up and the lady's like, here, I'm a veterinarian and I'm going to give you your shot. Like, okay.
It doesn't take much expertise to give a shot.
No. And then they have you sit in a parking lot for 15 minutes. The second shot I got, guy comes up, he's got like a doctor coat on, he's got an ID, he knocks on my window and the lady's window next to me. Has us roll down our windows, he goes, so you guys are getting Pfizer, huh? Well, I've got bad news. I'm like, well, fuck, what?
It's 90%
It's like, you're gonna
mercury.
have arm pain and you might feel like shit tomorrow. Like, you do not lead with that, asshole.
Well,
I've got some
And
terrible.
then he goes, but the good news is
horrible
you could probably go to Hawaii in a week. Then, so in this parking lot, they basically have you advance every 5 minutes. So you've been there once you're there for 15 minutes, you can leave. I get to the front of the queue. He knocks on my window again. He's like, I got bad news. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you not remember me?
Is this guy a comedy doctor?
Don't know.
he just
His
they
name was
found
Dr.
him at
Foster.
the improv.
I feel like this guy should be in a fucking Naked Gun sketch or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
He'd completely forgotten about me. Gave me the whole spiel over again. I'm just like, okay, I was listening to a book, but that's fine.
I've got some bad news. There's no way I could possibly know this, but you have herpes. Please pull forward.
You're good to go. Bye-bye.
The fuck?
Get out of here, herpy burpy.
You know, whatever. Like, not for nothing, but I also have to keep in mind everybody's paranoid about shit because they're, you know, whatever. You want to be a comedy doctor, whatever. But with so many people thinking that the shots contain the devil's DNA, or that it is irradiated, or that it's some sort of genome splice, or like whatever crazy, insane cockamamie conspiracy theories you are using to not get inoculated, or whatever you have already, I would not be one of those doctors who would then like further make it a pain in the ass for the people who have already put all of those things aside.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
you know.
Whatever. That might. But I have a pet peeve against doctors, working around them all the time. people are always like, doctors are so smart. Doctors. Doctors I work with sometimes make me feel like they handed a, like, what, remember back in the old days, you'd get a Tootsie Pop, and the old myth was if you found a star on it, you'd keep it.
You got a free one.
Yeah, free one. If you had like enough of them, you could change it for fabulous prizes. I feel like somebody must have taken Tootsie Pop up on that for a medical degree at some point. Holy shit. But yeah, so whatever. Don't be a comedy doctor. You got into it I mean, whatever. You're going to be a comedy doctor. Be a funny one. Don't be that asshole.
Be Patch Adams.
Yeah, be
the funniest doctor.
Don't be like don't be like the guy in the lab coat being like, horrible news. I smashed my toe. Now onto your cancer. You are a cancer. Like, don't be a Family Guy bit, you fucking dick. Especially when
it's like he's like, I've got bad news, and like the lady who he was talking to, like her hand shot up to her face. She's like,
right. Like, why do that? Unless a part of like the vaccine is a shot of fear-based adrenaline, fucking like pack it in, asshole. Like, this isn't an open mic. Whatever.
Delightful.
Like the amount of like COVID related stuff and people and entanglements, I am so tired of it all.
Yep.
Yes.
But
we're getting there, David. One day at a time.
Yeah, I feel like I hear of it a lot more simply because of all the sick people, and I work at a doctor's office.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I understand my sample size is flawed,
But the numbers are going down. And in Arizona, we're not the worst people anymore. And, coming soon, Texas will be number one.
Yeah, thank God Texas will be able to take Florida.
Well, yeehaw, you brought me back into existence. I put on my 10-gallon COVID hat, and I'm here to be in the podcast.
I swear to God, whatever. But that's part of it too. Part of me wants to be like, how can they do that? But the other half of me is like, why do I need someone in a suit who's getting paid more a month than I will in a year to tell me to protect myself? Shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I go ahead and look at my self-interest?
David, people are dumb as shit.
Yeah, there's a girl that I know who
People are very dumb.
she's in Texas, and she's like, oh my God, the state, they're fucking insane. She's like, I think he's making up for the fact that so many people didn't have power for so long.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it. Like, I'm sure if you had, someone freeze to death in your house and rescue workers had to like chisel them out of the Barcalounger, then later, a week later hearing we could take your mask off. What a relief. Oh my God.
Oh, thank God.
All my food's, bad. Pipes burst. It looks like the foundation is sinking into the ground, and they had to chisel my grandmother off the toilet. But now I can take this fucking mask off.
I can go get groceries maskless.
America!
Woo!
Anyway, guys. Let's start wrapping it up. Andy, staff recommendations is usually how we start. Would you like to recommend anything to our listeners?
Sure.
Gagging?
Once again, I'm going to recommend HelloFresh. They keep me in meals, and the meals are good.
I keep getting hornswoggled by them because every time I open up a tab, there will be an quote unquote article. It'll say, before you try a meal delivery service, read this. And I scroll and it's like, promoted ad by HelloFresh. And I'm like, fuck you. Quit doing that. If you want to advertise to me, advertise to me. Don't say, hey, here's an unbiased article. Oh, and P.S., we published it.
It's ours.
But yesterday we had biscuit-topped pot pie.
Woof.
With I'll eat any amount of celery and onions and carrots you want me to, as long as I've made it in a brown gravy.
I don't, whatever. There's two things I have never seen the appeal of. Gravies, number one. Mayonnaises, number two. Aiolis are a distant cousin. Still don't like them.
But I'll tolerate them. So yeah, if you... Sometimes I'm just like, oh God, I don't know what to to eat this week. They will send you shit, and you will like it.
Yeah,
I think we tried them once.
Yeah, we either HelloFresh or one of those other meal boxes. Blue Apron, maybe.
We had a
Blue
free
Apron?
thing.
Yeah, somebody gave us a Groupon or whatever. Maybe that's what I need. I need someone to send me. Here's what I wish I could do. I wish I could, like, just to save time. Now, there's a reference here I need to unpack. So, back in the day, one of these anti-smoking commercials you'd see on the TV was about a man who got esophageal cancer, and they had to put in a flap that would, because he couldn't swallow anymore or whatever. So, like, it was this guy telling you this story about this guy. He's like, man, he got cancer and he had to put a flap in. So when he wanted to eat, he put things like chicken and fish in a blender and he poured it in the flap. He smoked and blah, 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 blah. And the whole time, I'm sure he was thinking, horrify the children into not smoking. And the whole time I'm thinking, where do I get a flap? I want a fucking flap. And to this day, to save time, I wish I could have a flap and just a blender somewhere at my desk, at work, or wherever. I get a little hungry. Zzz, ploop, dunzo, done. All the time chewing and swallowing, I feel like is a fucking waste of time. If I could drink every meal, I would, but chicken and steak, disgusting blended.
He's tried.
You can't do it right. So until someone can give me a flap, a stomach flap, sans esophageal cancer, here we are.
Gross.
What was I?
I don't know. What are you recommending?
I'm going to recommend, if you're listening to this day of the release, I'm going to recommend our live show, which if it is not canceled, is going on tonight. The theme is true crime and self-defense. So we're going to be going over some true crime cases and details and self-defense scenarios and warm-up exercises. It'll be like an exercise class. If you want to come and do it, fine. If you just want to watch it, that's great too. If you want to do it, find a stick, at least one.
Get a stick, kid.
Yeah, if you got a measure, like a, what do you call it, yardstick, that'll even work. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, to beat your children.
I'll show you how to make one on the stream if you want, for cheap. And then you can do like me and then turn it up to 11 and spend $200 eventually. That's what I'm going to recommend. Watch that live stream. If it works, it'll be the first time doing this sort of thing, so we'll see what happens. Krista, do you want to recommend anything?
Yeah, I'm going to recommend the game Auto Chess because PJ has gotten me obsessed with this stupid game.
Auto Chess.
Oh my god, I thought it was so boring and confusing watching PJ play, but now that I have it on my phone, it's super fun. And you're just like these little chess pieces or whatever. You have a bunch of chess pieces. They all do different things. It's like a role-playing game, but you're on a chessboard. You're not necessarily playing chess at all. It's just you play online and you attack other people with your certain little pieces. And
is it like what's the word I want to use? It's not like a MOBA or like an MMO thing,
like a mobile
MMORPG. It's
sort of.
The only RPG aspect is like you can put little like tags on them to get better defense and shit. And you, but what sucks is you can only get to level 10 in the game, and like then you can't level up anymore to get more pieces onto your board. But
phone games usually have that cap.
I don't know if the PC game has a cap or anything because I don't have it, but it's free on your phone.
It's called the money cap. Pay us more and you can be level 20.
It's fee to pay gameplay.
Right.
I'm going to throw a secondary recommendation. I don't know if I recommended this before or not. I feel like I have, but it deserves it. Super Pixel Racers. I haven't played it in a while, but it's a really fun isometric 2D racing game that's all about like drifting, and it's kind of like, it reminds me, if this reference lands, of the Micro Machines for the NES. But
yes.
it's 16-bit, and I think it's super fun. And it was like, I think I picked it up for $5 when it was on sale, but it's probably not more than 15 now. Yeah, it's on Steam. Super Pixel Racers. If you listening want to get in contact with any of us, there's one way to do it now. There's lots of ways, but the one I'm going to tell you
There's only
about,
one way.
There's only one way. It's the email address that is fistfulofpodcast@gmail.com. That usually comes to me, but if you have a question for someone else, I'll pass it to them. Or, seeing as how we're everyone involved with this show is in constant contact on the Discord, the Facebook, and Twitter, etc. I feel like being like, hey, if you want to reach out, do it. Obviously, we do it all the time. What else? There's a Patreon if you give a shit. Somewhere there's a link on this site if you're
somewhere
on the website or whatever. I'm gonna try and put some more stuff on that, or get some stuff out early and push some production. So whatever, you know how it goes. Everybody's on fucking YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it, unless you want to bring up something last minute, Andy.
I don't have anything.
All right, so I guess until next week, I'm Dave.
I'm Krista.
I'm Mr. B, and I'm from Texas. Yeehaw!
Saying yeehaw! See y'all next week, y'all. West Texas.
Try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.